So what is
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
I just want to take a moment to thank all of you for coming. This is my first play, and it really, really means a lot to me to have you all here. And I really want to let you know that my actors, I shouldn't say my actors, the actors of this play are really the ones that made this happen, and I feel like I really don't deserve any of the credit for any of your laughs that you're going to make tonight. So.
Everybody, we have to beat up Tom.
What are you doing? He's up here!
This is perfect. Did you know that?
He's up here, Sylvia!
This is a perfect shot.
Robert,
This is an Academy Award-winning shot.
what are you doing?
Looking at my Academy Award-winning shot.
They give Academy Awards for movies, Robert, not shots. And I'm pretty sure if they gave them for shots, that shot would have to be down on film. It's not like we can bring the Academy out here and say, look at this award-winning shot. I'm making myself clear. You have 4 minutes until sunset.
4 minutes and 10 seconds.
I'm sorry. Let's go square against him.
Don't bug me, Reuben. I'm happy right now. I'm trying to make believe you're not here right now.
Robert, Bobby. Lindstrom and Sachs were serious. Dead serious. I know what I'm talking about. There's no more money. There's no more money. There was no more money 2 weeks ago when you were 3 weeks behind and $6.5 million over, and there is officially no more money. I don't like being an asshole, Robert, but it's my job. I'm the production manager. I'm here to see that things run on schedule and at budget.
3 weeks behind and $6.5 million over.
Yeah, that's right.
You've been doing a good job, Reuben.
The final shot, Robert. One shot. And then the cast, the crew, the 694 extras, we can all go home.
We're gonna go home, Reuben. It's under control. Trust me.
You've said that before.
I was lying.
There's no retake. You understand this. It's not like we can ask the Sun to come back up and set again because you screwed it up the first time.
We can't?
No.
Well, what if we ask nicely?
God damn it.
Oh, what if we call the Sun's agent?
I'm not fucking around!
Oh, neither am I. Listen, get on the phone, call William Morris. Find out who handles the Sun. Say we need a little favor. Say there's a possibility we may need to retake a shot. And in the event that we do, is there any chance the Sun would be willing to come back up and set again? I mean, you know, we'll 0-1.
3.5 minutes. Don't you think you should be down with the crew?
Crew knows what to do.
Well, how do they know that?
Because we've been rehearsing for the past 6 hours. Because despite the fact that this is my first film, a fact that you've seen fit to remind me of 4 times a day since pre-production, despite that fact, I'm not an idiot. Because whether you know it or not, and I suspect you don't, this is the most important shot of the movie, and I have no intention of screwing it up. Because this shot, I have left absolutely no room for human error, Reuben. At 7:37, the Sun will begin to set. At 7:37, the cameras will roll, 3 of them, 2 Panaflex 8As and an Arri BL. There is film in the cameras and the focus is pulled. I've checked them all 6 times. There are security guards posted by the cameras at the foot of the hill, and there are 26 kids out of UCLA with walkie-talkies posted around the perimeter of the shot. 11 minutes and 30 seconds. The cameras will roll for 11 minutes and 30 seconds. And during that 11 minutes and 30 seconds, our 694 Marines, already costumed and approved in their uniforms, will, in a slow, trickling, symphonically theatrical stream, trot the 4,560-foot diagonal from the ridge of those trees down past the blue flag and out of camera range. Roll credits. 6 hours we rehearsed, Ruben. You should have been there. I ran them and I ran them and I ran them, and they got it right the first time. Craig is down on the deck. He'll be calling it. And when he does, there isn't a man, woman, or child who doesn't know what they're supposed to do. So, I staked out this hill, and Jeff's going to come join me, and together we are going to watch art being made.
They're serious, Robert. Whatever you've got goes in the can that's not releasable, they will eat it. I swear they will afford it.
I thought you said there was no more money.
No, not for this! Not for a film about disillusioned Marines in Guam, in a war game that everybody knows isn't going to make shit at the box office!
If they didn't like the movie, why'd they make the movie?
What the hell do they know? They liked your plays.
They weren't my plays, they were Jeff's plays.
Your plays, just plays, who gives a shit?
Jeff probably. Jeff's mom.
I went to New York. They went to a theater. They saw a play. You directed it. Jeff wrote it. They said, you want to make a movie? Here's some money. And they gave you money, lights, camera, crew, actors.
Actors!
You got a problem with the actors?
No, sir!
These actors were pussies. Let me tell you something. These actors were dolls.
The actors never liked me, Ruben.
The actors loved you. You couldn't remember their... You didn't like the actors.
That's right, I forgot.
Well, let me ask you, did you really have a problem with these actors? Did you have one star trip, one case of attitude, one prima donna? Did you really have a problem with these actors?
No, they were not a problem. Talentless and vacuous, sure. Vapid, facile, and a little insipid. You know, good looking though. Some of the best looking actors I've ever seen, I swear. But no, they weren't hard to get along with.
Well, I'm sorry, my friend. There's only so much that could be done with the material.
Jeff worked very hard on this screenplay.
Yeah, well, it's lousy. So the Yale drama crowd. He should have stayed in church basements in Soho, where when the audience doesn't know what the fuck is going on, they give him an award. Well, welcome to the movies. When the audience doesn't know what the fuck is going on, they get up and walk out, and they tell their friends, and they don't rent the video. And there are no ancillary sales, there's no European market, there's no sequel. And if you think that I'm just some kind of anti-artist, studio puppet, dollars and cents man, well, guess what? You're right. It's my job. Let me tell you something. If you're looking at $17 million to make a film, with another $10 million to promote it, you better be pretty damn sure that someone in Des Moines is going to buy a ticket. You have 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
Ruben, great. Hey, I have a question for you. Those people down there with the walkie-talkies, do they work for us?
Yeah.
Good. I've fallen in love with one of them. I don't know her name, but she's got red hair, blue pants, and a white sweatshirt. If you could casually mention some impressive things about me to her, I would genuinely appreciate it. I'll jot some down.
Ruben's in a bad mood, Jeff.
Why?
Oh, he thinks I've spent too much time and too much money making a movie about disillusioned Marines in Guam, and he thinks your screenplay is full of Yale drama crap, and he thinks that no one in Des Moines is going to buy a ticket.
I wouldn't say the Marines are disillusioned.
I'm going to be down on the deck. You have 2 minutes.
Ruben, this is important. Okay? Red hair, blue pants, white sweatshirt. Tell her I have a reputation. Champagne.
Oh, yeah. Bob, word standby.
How's it look?
No problems.
It's your call.
Well, I want to thank you for this.
Thank me for what?
Well, for giving me control like this, letting me call a shot. It really means a lot to me.
Well, you've done a real good job, I mean that. Nothing to thank me for.
Well, I just want to express my appreciation for your confidence in me.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you can handle it, Craig.
It's just that you're the only person that's ever, considered that I might have some career goals beyond being an AD.
Hey, Craig, listen, I hate to seem cold right now, because I can tell you're opening up to me a little bit, and I think that's great. But you are planning on going back down to the deck and calling the shot, aren't you?
Sure.
I mean, you understand that the cameras are not going to roll unless you call action.
I'm not stupid, Bob.
No, of course not. I just wasn't sure whether or not you realized that we were inside 2 minutes.
Yeah, minute 35.
I need help, Jeff.
Craig, Bobby wants you to go down to the deck right now, okay? He wants you to go down there because you have an extremely important job to do, and he wants to make sure that you do it as well as he knows you're able.
That's what I was just telling Bob, that I'm grateful to be given this responsibility, and I genuinely appreciate his confidence and my ability
Get
to...
down on the deck right now, or I will go down and call a shot myself, and you will direct traffic for the rest of your life.
Thank you, Bob. Thanks a lot. I mean it.
He's sweet.
Yeah. Very quick.
Yeah.
Why are you letting him call the shot?
Craig can call the play-by-play of the Yankees game for all the difference it'll make. The cameras have been rolling for the last 10 minutes.
You're kidding me.
In a minute 45, Hillary will radio Michael, who's standing by at the ridge, and Michael will cue the Marines.
You've been letting the cameras roll for 10 minutes.
What's the harm? Craig will never know. He can go home and tell people he called the last shot of the film, and they will have sex with him.
Bobby, 3 cameras rolling for 10 minutes, and now they're gonna roll for another 11 and a half at $1,000 a foot per camera?
You sound like Ruben, Jeff. It's not your money.
Well, it's somebody's money, and it's being spent irresponsibly.
I want this shot.
You get this shot.
I'm making sure.
You're becoming obsessive.
If not now, when, Jeff? In the editing room? You know how many people get to cut this movie before I do? About the same number who get to cut it after I do. The unit caterer has more artistic control over this project than I've been given. Well, fuck it, Jeff. I'm getting this shot. I've created a picture here. I've communicated with an image. I've communicated an idea, an emotion, my idea, and I've done it as succinctly as a well-written sentence and as powerfully as a symphony. Now, the rest of this film may end up looking like Beaver Goes to War, but this shot, this image is gonna work.
Good luck.
45 seconds.
Who's Hillary?
Red hair, blue pants, white sweatshirt.
Hillary.
35 seconds. 35 seconds till my dream comes true. How many times can you say that, Jeff?
You mean how many times can I say that really fast? I've never been good at that.
Please, God. Please be perfect, God. Just nice and slow and easy, God. No mistakes. I'm not asking any special favors of you, God. I'm not asking you to interfere. I got all the bases covered, God. Oh, please just let me have this. God, for the next 11 and a half minutes, just make the sun go down behind that hill and then mind your own business.
Hey, Bobby.
Shh. Action. Oh yeah. Oh my. This is for my children, Jeff. This is for my little daughter. This is for Jennifer, who will watch it with her friends and say, my daddy did that. This is for my unborn son, who will look at this and say, I want to be just like my dad. This isn't for the actors, Jeff. This isn't for Lindstrom and Sachs. This isn't even for you. This one's for me. Oh, look at it, Jeff. Look at it.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, but are you seeing it?
I think so. I'm looking at it.
Try and see it. Put a frame around it and see the picture. Yeah. Are you looking at it?
I'm seeing it, Bobby.
Communicating an idea, causing emotion. No words, no sounds, no paints, no brushes. Just 1,200 acres in central New York, 694 extras jogging down a hill, 3, 4, 6 at a time, and a perfect sunset. I don't know that I've ever been more fulfilled than I am right now.
You wouldn't happen to know if Hillary's married or anything, would you?
Jeff!
What? I'm sorry.
Jesus!
I was watching. I was looking.
You know, Jeff, when you've written a scene and you're excited about it, I like to think that I'm pretty supportive. I like to think, you know, that when you've created something that pleases you, that I share your enthusiasm, whether it's genuine or not.
Whether it's genuine or not.
Yes, Jeff, I'm not always as bowled over by your dramaturgy as I have perhaps sometimes led you to believe on occasion. But that's not the point. The point is that I'm your friend, and I'm an artist, and I know how important it is to have an inspiration or whatever, you know, what?
Nurture.
Yeah!
Whether it's genuine or not.
Yes! I support you, I encourage you, I celebrate with you.
Except that in addition to being my friend and being an artist, you've also written the last 3 plays, you've directed them, Sorry, I've written them. But you've been the director, Bobby. And as a director, I depend upon your skilled and trained experience and objective eye to guide me through a very crucial polishing, a focusing process prior to and during the rehearsal period. I appreciate the gesture, but in the future I'd like it, and I'll think you'll find in the long run it'll be more valuable and rewarding if you told me exactly what you thought of my work.
I think your work has a tendency to be long-winded and simple. I think you have difficulty handling exposition. I think you take forever to introduce the inciting action. And I think your female characters talk and behave as if they just stepped off the Love Boat.
I said in the future, Bobby. In the future, I'd like you to be honest and specific about the problems you might have with my work, so that I may reasonably ascertain whether I should heed your suggestions or seek another director. In the future, Bobby, not while I'm watching, seeing this communication of emotion. And I must say, as I give you full credit for creating this, the final scene of the picture, without sound, without paints, without brushes, but for the 127 pages of dialogue which precede your creation, this would be a scene about a bunch of guys running down a hill for 11 and a half minutes.
So far, so good.
Doing a good job, Craig. Everything looks perfect.
Everything's going as smooth as can be.
Love to hear it. How's the timing?
Well, the starting place was about 10 seconds fast, but I called Michael and we straightened it out.
What did you tell him?
Well, I told him to tell the Marines to slow down a little bit.
Good call, Craig. You did the right thing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, yeah, I'm glad I have you down there. Down on the deck.
I do. I mean it. I know you've got a lot on your mind right now, and, well, you could use some. You know what I mean. You're tired, and I just think it's nice that you took the time and the inclination, to say it.
Craig, I need you on the deck.
I just came up here to tell you everything was going fine.
And I appreciate that. But I can see that everything is fine from right here. I can see everything from here. That's why I'm here. If all 3 cameras burst into flames at once, I'll know the moment that you know.
Maybe even sooner.
Now, the thing that I can't do from up here is get timings from Hillary and relay instructions to Michael.
You want me to rig you up with a walkie-talkie?
I want you to... Jeff?
I don't know, Bobby. Why don't you try communicating an emotion to Craig with an image? You don't need words. Long-winded, cynical, clumsy, expository, tensionless, sexist, so-fault-friendly words.
Bob, I'm going to go back down to the deck, and I'll check the timings.
Thank you. Jeff, I apologize. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I just made that all up. I'm sorry. It was nasty and inappropriate. Jeff, we're coming up to the real meat of the sunset here, and I'd just like to watch it. Jeff, just let me live this next 10 minutes with your blessing and your forgiveness, and then we can fight if you want to. I'll do whatever you want. I'll tell Hillary you've got a 3-picture deal at Warner's. Please, shake hands with me and watch my scene. Bobby? Jeff?
3 cows have walked into the shop.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
3 cows have walked into the shop.
There are cows in the shot.
3.
3 cows are in the shot.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
3 cows are grazing in the middle of the shop.
Jesus Christ almighty! You're in the shot! Get out of the shot! Cows! Get the hell out of the shot! Before I even begin to try and solve this problem, I want you to tell me, Jeff, you wrote the screenplay. You did research. You did months of research. You read books. Tell me, are there cows on Guam?
Not on Marine bases.
Fuck! Fuck! Never?
No, never. There are no cows on Marine bases anywhere. Guam, Nicaragua, Berlin. There are no cows.
Don't tell me there are no cows, Jeff. There are 3 cows standing in the middle of the shot.
That's because we're 10 miles outside of Schenectady on a farm. We're only pretending to be on a Marine base. The cows aren't screwing around, Bobby. They're on a farm. Bobby, it's okay. Just have some guys run out there and kind of shoo away the cows.
Shoo away the cows.
Yeah, have some guys run out there and kind of herd them off to the left.
Jeff, an entire Marine infantry unit is running towards them with machine guns. They're not moving anywhere.
That's because they're all running past them. Have some people go right out towards the cows and herd them off that way to the left. We can edit this stuff out later. Bobby, this will be 9 minutes instead of 11.
Jeff, those cows...
It's the only thing to do.
It's gotta be 3/4 of a mile away. We've got 8 minutes left. Do you know how long it's gonna take to get a film crew to run 3/4 of a mile uphill, clear the cows from the shot, and then clear themselves from the shot? What the fuck are they doing there?
It looks like they're eating.
Oh, good! And on this 1,200-acre farm in the middle of nowhere, it was important that these cows eat that particular spot of grass. And I'm sure it was very important that they eat right now. I'm sure they have many appointments later on in the evening, leaving them no choice but to grab a quick bite during this particular 11-minute period.
Bobby! 3 cows have wandered into the shot. I think it's kind of noticeable.
Oh? What makes you say that, Craig? What makes you say it's noticeable?
Well, everybody noticed.
Jeff? Sit down. Just relax. The sun is setting, Jeff. Seemingly faster than it's ever set before.
You can salvage some of the ending footage and then fudge around with the continuity of the sunset.
Yeah, if the cows move. If they decide to move back out of the shot.
Right.
And if they don't,
You're screwed.
what's going on, God? God, why are you doing this to me? Please, move the cows, God. Move them over 75 yards to the left, God. What's the big deal? I'm not kidding. I'm really in a complete... I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Are you... Wait. What are they doing? They're bobbing their heads or something. What does that mean? Do you think that means they're ready to leave? Does it seem to you that they're about ready to leave?
I don't know. Bobby, I'm not a livestock psychologist. I don't know if the cows see me.
I think they're about ready to leave.
Craig, on the other hand, is very strong, so the cows will be leaving soon.
Would you look at those guys? Just trotting by these cows like they weren't even there. Doing it exactly the way we did it in rehearsal. You'd think one of those guys would say to himself, I'm an actor and I'm supposed to be imitating life. Right now I'm playing a Marine on my way back to the barracks. There's a cow! If I were a Marine, I'd probably think it was someone out of the ordinary to see a cow on the way back to my barracks. You'd think one of those guys would somehow acknowledge the fact that they're running past 3 cows on the way down the hill.
You want me to call Michael?
Please.
What should I tell him?
Tell him to tell whoever's left up there that the scene now includes 3 cows. Tell him to tell whoever's left that there's no point ignoring the cows. It only makes us look stupid.
I forgot my walkie-talkie.
Go. Hold it. Don't bother. The extras have discovered the cows. They're acting with the cows. The extras are doing bits of business with the cows. I hate those cows. You know what I think? I think it's not nearly as big a problem as we think it is.
Truly, Robert, that's the attitude you have to have.
Because you know why? Because I don't think anyone in the audience is going to notice. I mean, sure, they're going to notice. They're going to see these 3 cows in silhouette against the sunset while 694 Marines file back to their barracks after having spent the most difficult day of their lives engaged in a war game. Sure, the audience is going to see these cows, but I don't think they're going to find that strange.
You don't?
No.
Why not?
Why should they? They're just cows. Everybody's seen cows. What's the big screen? The cows.
On a marine compound in Guam.
You think people are going to pick that out?
I hope so. I mean, if they just sat through a 2-hour movie and they don't realize that it took place on a marine compound in Guam, I think we can put Beavis and Butthead out there and it's not going to make a difference.
I don't know. Call it instinct. I don't think people are going to find that strange.
I find it strange. You find it strange.
I find it strange.
Craig finds it strange. You want to talk about playing to the lowest common denominator?
You find it strange?
Pretty strange, yeah.
I want you to radio down to the deck. talk to Hillary. Get one of the policemen, one of the Schenectady police guys. Are they still around?
Yeah.
Good. I want you to radio down to the deck. Tell Hillary to have the policemen shoot the cows.
Bobby!
Call!
Greg, stop! Bob, you can't tell the police to shoot the cows.
Why not?
For about 10 different reasons.
I don't have time for 10. Give me one.
You can't kill cows to make a movie.
Well, we kill cows to make hamburgers. Why can't I kill cows to make a movie? What's the difference?
What's the difference between food and a movie? Are you serious?
Well, they don't have to kill the cows. They don't have to shoot to kill. Just drop them. Wound them for crying out loud. I'm running out of time.
Bobby, allow me a very quick hypothetical. Let's assume for a moment that Schenectady police officers carry pistols that can fire 3/4 of a mile, and that these officers are accurate at that range as to wound and not kill a cow. Fast forward a year. Don't you think, now come on, don't you think that even the people who find it a little strange, who don't find it a little strange, that 3 cows and one didn't go off, don't you think that they're going to be a little perplexed when the cows, for no apparent reason, fall to the ground?
Right.
I know.
You're 100% right.
So just relax, sit down, the cows will leave, we'll salvage some footage. The scene was way too long anyway.
I've been looking at this all wrong. Look at the cows. What do they look like to you?
The cows,
Yeah.
they look like cows.
Besides cows. What do they look like besides cows?
I'm not sure I understand.
I'm saying, look at those cows and tell me what you think they look like other than cows.
I'm sorry, Bobby, I'm drawing a blank. I'm looking at the cows, the only thing leaping out at me is they look like cows.
Don't you think they look a little like tanks?
Tanks?
Tanks. Sherman tanks. But don't you think they look a little, in a way, off in the distance there in silhouette like tanks?
No.
Well, what do you think they look like?
I think they look like cows.
Forget about the cows. Cows aren't an option. You can't choose cows. They're not cows.
They are cows, and they look like cows, which only makes sense because they're cows.
I'm asking you to use your imagination, Jeff. I'm asking you to, for once in your life, be emotional and not intellectual. Yeah, I'm asking you to pretend, to reach back in your mind's eye and tell me what you see other than cows when you look at those cows.
You want me to be emotional and not intellectual.
Please, once, for me.
I see love, Rob. I see children playing freeze tag in a sunny meadow. I see Fifth Avenue at Christmas time. I see, well, you know, I see all kinds of wonderful things.
Really? Kids playing freeze tag?
I see cows, Bobby.
You don't think they look like Sherman tanks?
No, you're out of control.
I'm in complete control. I know what I'm saying. If you, listen to me. If you squint your eyes a little and kind of blur things up, you see, I swear, they look just like tanks. And no one's going to think that's strange, right? I mean, tanks on a Marine base are okay. You don't think I'm right?
No,
Why?
because I think when the ushers in the theater instruct the audience to squint their eyes a little bit, some of the audience are going to hold out. I think that it's even possible that some of the audience will, for curiosity's sake, not squint their eyes a little bit. I even think it's possible some of the critics will not squint their eyes a little bit. And those people, the people who choose not to play along, will think that those Sherman tanks look like cows. And they'll be right.
I'm not saying tell the audience to squint, Jeff. I'm not saying we have to have a guy go around the country shouting in dark movie theaters that the people should squint now.
What are you saying?
We have footage of tanks. I mean,
Right.
we already have the footage. We have
Of course.
feet and feet of footage of tanks. Now, I just keep jump cutting for half a second at a time in these shots of tanks every couple minutes, all the way through. Just keep jump cutting the tanks. In 3, 4 frames a shot, they will be subliminally convinced that they're looking at tanks.
Bobby.
They will be subliminally convinced.
Because you're showing them tanks every once in a while, they're going to think that those cows are tanks.
Yes.
Who do you think your audience is?
Idiots, Jeff. I think the vast majority are lazy, stupid idiots who I believe can be convinced by a clever director with enough footage at his disposal that 3 cows are in fact Sherman tanks.
Well, you're wrong, because the only one who thinks that those cows are anything but cows is you.
Craig, what do the cows look like to you?
Those cows?
No, not those cows, Craig. Other cows. Those cows.
I just didn't understand the question.
What do those cows look like to you? Those cows out there in the middle of the shot.
Well, it's kind of funny. I was just thinking, you know, how they kind of bob up and down while they're eating with their heads.
What, Craig?
Well, and you can only see them in shadow.
Craig.
I think they look a little like boats.
Boats.
Like boats bobbing up and down at a mooring, you know, tied to their mooring.
Do either of you have any sense of size? Do either of you have any sense of shape or proportion? Do either of you understand that a boat and a tank and a cow are three different things? Or is it kind of like anything that can move is sort of lumped into one big pile?
No, but we are filmmakers, and we don't lock ourselves into conventional notions and labels. We give ourselves the freedom to explore and communicate our own surroundings. And we don't file the world around us in little shoe boxes and label them black and white.
Those are cows, Bobby.
Well, how do you know? Craig says they're boats.
I said they look like boats.
They look like cows. They walk like cows. They eat like cows. They're cows. Except that fact. I wouldn't lie to you about something like that. Boats float, tanks have guns, and cows are standing right there. And they're noticeable. And I think they're the best thing in the movie.
You're right. You're right. They're cows.
What?
They're cows. Well, there might be some way of getting around it, but there isn't. They're cows. Okay, they'll have to stay cows. Fine. There are 3 cows standing in the last shot of the picture. What did I mean by that? What did I say, I wonder? I need to examine this. Okay, what are cows? Cows, what are cows? Cows are cows. What do cows do? Cows give milk. Milk is life. Is milk life? No, not really. Milk is milk. It's also life in a way. Sure, milk. Mother's milk, the milk of life. Young, disillusioned Marines. Young, disillusioned Marines, what? Sucking the milk of life, the last drops of the milk of life, right? Sunset, endings, the last drops. Young, disillusioned Marines sucking the last drops of the milk of life from cows because their mothers aren't there with them in Guam. What am I saying?
Bob?
Wrap it, Craig.
You sure?
Wrap it. I'll be down in a minute. Just like a minute before I go down.
We got 90 seconds still.
Don't waste film. Just cut it. Let's go home.
Sure.
Go ahead. Say it.
Say what?
Tell me about how I never had control on this movie. Tell me about how I got ahead of myself. Tell me about how I got all dreamy and lofty and master filmmaker and boy genius. And it all came crashing down around me. And it's all capsulized. Every one of my screw-ups. Every one of my failed shots at the moon. They're all capsulized in this 11 minutes. Which I would say will be coming soon to a theater near you, except I'm only a little luckier than that. The instrument sacks are going to burn the negative. Go ahead. Say it, Jeff.
I'm sorry, what was I supposed to say again?
Thank you, Jeff. Your compassion and sensitivity are moving me in a way I don't know what to do.
Bobby.
No, go ahead. I'm serious, Jeff, really. Have a little fun at my expense.
Rob, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say, let's go home, Rob. I was going to say that the only reason this movie sucks, it really does bite Rob, so you had nothing to do with it. You were never in control, and neither was I. They made us change things. We don't even know why. We just did it. They asked for a scene in bed. I'd write a scene in bed, but it wasn't. Rob, it wouldn't even be germane. They surrounded you. Did you hire one of these people yourself? You didn't make this movie, Rob. Lindstrom and Sachs did. Oh, they wrote it too. I typed it. That's what I did. Bobby, 3 months ago we were laughing about this. You had a sense of humor about this. Come on, it's a bad movie, that's all. And it's not your fault, it's just a movie. A child hasn't died, Bobby.
I wish you wouldn't do that.
What?
Talk about every problem in the world relative to the worst problem in the world. Just because one thing isn't as bad as something else, it doesn't make it good. It doesn't become all right. The town of Beaumont, Texas is flattened by a tornado. But what's the problem? A nuclear weapon didn't explode. It's a bad habit, Jeff.
Not when you're just talking about a movie.
That's not the point.
What's the point?
The point is that Lindstrom and Sachs might just release the movie.
So what?
My name's on it! God, what's the matter with you? In New York, you spent half an hour wondering whether or not to change a comma. We have to put you in a hospital after the opening. You don't sleep when we're doing a play. Why don't you give a damn now?
Because I take no pride whatsoever in this piece of work. This piece of work was mangled beyond my ability or interest to reason with, by forces beyond my ability to deal with. But they were paying me a lot of money, so what the hell?
This isn't supposed to be a hobby, Jeff. This isn't a weekend tennis match. This is supposed to be our lives. This is supposed to be what keeps us going. And you just sit there like, win some, you lose some.
Yeah, but, you're right. But it's not my life. It's not yours either. It's what we do for a living, and it's what we work at and what we like working at more than anything else in the world. Your life is Jennifer and Nancy and your dad and the Knicks and the boat and the tomatoes, and my life is Hillary. I don't know if anything else off the top of my head, but the point is, it's just a movie.
I understand what you're saying, but look, okay, you're right. This isn't the biggest tragedy in the world, but it's at least as bad. I mean, wouldn't you have to say it's on a par with, like, my boat sinking? I mean, don't you think that if I called you and I said, Jeff, I just went down to go sailing, and I looked in the water and saw that overnight my boat, on which I spent many wonderful hours with my wife and my daughter enjoying the pleasure of the outdoors, and upon which I've spent many invaluable hours alone with the soothing company of the sea, and into which I put my heart, muscle, and soul, has sunk beyond my retrieval, you would express sympathy?
Yes, if your boat sank, I'd say I was sorry.
And don't you think that this, although certainly not a tragedy on the scale of, say, the assassination of Abraham Lincoln, is at least as bad as my boat sinking?
Does the boat have passengers?
No, just the boat. $45,000 boat that I haven't finished paying for yet, that I named after my first dog.
Yes, I think they're equally as bad. I'm sorry your movie has cows in it.
Thank you.
I am sorry.
And help me.
How?
Give me some Yale drama crap.
What?
I need an explanation. I need an explanation for the cows.
An explanation.
Yeah.
Why?
Why?
Yes.
Why do I need an explanation?
Yes.
Because I asked God for a favor and He wasn't listening, so now I'm asking you. I'm asking for you for an explanation for those cows. Something good, Jeff. Something real.
Something real. Like actors playing trained Marines before? No?
Somebody.
That must have been great. Something real like actors playing trained Marines, making sure their hair is in place before the cameras roll. Real like that. Like war and death and killing being reduced to a series of wacky, zany scenes so that it'll somehow be palatable to the 16 and 21 audience. Bobby, after a year of this, I think it takes a certain amount of arrogance to assume that when 3 cows walk into the last scene of the movie, God wasn't listening.
You don't believe in God.
No, I don't. And I don't believe in movies. I believe in cows. There's some Yale drama crap for you. Bobby, what's this scene about?
No, you're right. Let's go home.
No, listen to me. What's the scene about?
I give up.
You're gonna like this. What's the scene about?
It's supposed to be about the end of the day. The end of the game.
Yeah, but it's not anymore. What's it about now?
It's about 3 cows.
No, it's not. What's it about?
Well, it's about the incongruity of the two worlds.
Nope.
It's about... Wait, the difference, the contrast.
No.
Well, yes, how can you really, to a certain degree, juxtapose?
Bobby,
Okay, Jeff, I'm saying, what we're seeing is a montage.
what was going on really? What was actually going on?
Marines were running downhill.
Who?
Marines.
Who were they really?
Really?
Yeah, who were they really?
They were extras.
They were actors in
A movie.
a movie when all of a sudden
3 cows walked into the most important shot.
of,
The movie.
which is about
Disillusioned Marines in Guam.
a subject to which we did a,
Disservice.
what kind of disservice?
Great disservice.
Great disservice. Okay, now, what's this scene about really? What was really going on? Not the sunset, not the Marines. What was actually happening?
A movie shot was being destroyed.
And if you don't think that's an appropriate end for this movie, you don't know Yale drama crap when it comes up and bites you in the ass.
It's a scene about a movie shot getting destroyed.
I truly could have not written it better if I had 100 years.
It's a scene about a movie shot being ruined by 3 cows.
Yes, it is, and you're the boldest director since Wells.
Bad film, which began as a good film,
Right.
about a group of Marines who joined the Corps with an idealized, what might even say Hollywoodized image of the Marines, but whose fantasies come crashing down around them, is ending with 3 cows walking into the last shot of the film itself.
And you told me God doesn't hang around upstate New York.
Bobby! Buses are leaving.
I'm coming.
These guys are a real pain in the ass, weren't they? Well, we'll mat them out when we cut it, but boy, I swear that sight. I almost pissed my pants.
Mat 'em out.
Yeah, it takes half a day.
Mat out the cows.
Yeah, you're gonna talk to Leonard about it next week.
Why would I want to mat out the cows?
Plan these guys?
I rehearsed those cows. I auditioned over 400 cows. Those were my favorites. They were my first choice.
You planned those cows?
You believe this guy? Ruben, don't you understand?
You mean,
The scene. The scene. It's the whole statement of the picture. It's written down.
the cows?
Yeah!
Sure. Yeah, I thought you were talking about something else. I like it. I really do. But the buses are leaving.
I'm right behind you.
I think it's gonna work.
You ready to go?
Yeah. Hang on. Now they're leaving. Thank you! That's a wrap.
The lessons is basically pretty basic. I'll show you. show you the basics and I'll show you some movies. Kick some butt. Yeah. I got here and I was like, yeah.
Good job.
Yes. That was pretty funny.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Not your fault. I guess. See how much of
I think I saw a few minutes of one.